So today we are going to be talking about Punnett squares and how to solve them. So this is a picture or a graphic that allows us to predict what the offspring of two parents might look like or what traits they're going to inherit from their parents. So you'll notice here is parent one up on top. You have a dominant and recessive gene. Here you have parent two that also has a dominant and recessive gene, and they have crossed in here to tell you what the offspring might look like. So we're going to walk through how to do this today and how to read these. So here's an example of a Punnett square. In this case, you see a big B, which stands for dominant brown, and a little b, which stands for recessive blue. So in this case, you have a phenotype of blue eyes and a genotype of recessive. So this parent has two recessive genes for blue, so they have blue eyes. This parent has two dominant genes for brown eyes. So there's dominant gene 1, dominant gene 2, they have brown eyes. As you remember, we get one set of genes from mom and one set of genes from dad. And so that's what we're doing. We're predicting which of these genes the baby might get. So when this parent and this parent have a baby, this tells us all the possible combinations of what that baby might look like. So we're going to talk about how to step through this. But in this case, we also know that a capital B stands for a dominant trait, and anytime there's a dominant trait present, it will overpower the recessive trait, and so that is the one you will see. So in this case, brown eyes, in this case, brown eyes, in this case, brown eyes, and in this case, brown eyes. So there is a 100% chance, and I'll explain how that works later, but there's a 100% chance that this child will have brown eyes. So as I was saying, the percent chance looks like this. So each of these squares represents a 25% chance. So in the previous example, if you look, this one had brown eyes, this one had brown eyes, this one had brown eyes, and this one had brown eyes. If I add all four squares together, I get 100%. So now you are going to learn how to do this. So the very first step is to draw a box and separate it into four squares. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Step number 2 is to decide what letter you want to use to represent the trait you're trying to predict. So in this example I've given you, the trait we're going to look at is hair type. I have chosen a big A for straight hair and a little a for curly hair because straight hair is dominant, so it has to have the capital, and curly hair is recessive, so it has the small letter. You always use the same letter for both. You wouldn't use like an A for straight hair and an H for curly hair. The A just represents hair type. So this represents the dominant gene of hair type. This represents the recessive gene of hair type. So the next step is to put the parents onto the Punnett square. So it doesn't matter which parent you put on which side, but you're going to put one of the parents here and the other parent here. So in this case, parent 1 has a dominant allele or dominant gene, for straight hair and a recessive gene for curly hair. Parent 2 has the same thing. Parent 2 has a dominant gene for straight hair and a recessive gene for curly hair. So you just put them next to each of these boxes. Then you're going to start to make crosses. This is predictions of which gene the offspring might get. So you start with this one here and you cross it with this one here, and the results of that go in the box. So you have a big A, and then you're going to write that in the first box. Then you go and cross the second trait. So I have big A here and little a here, so that goes in this box. You always list the capital first, even if it's here or here, doesn't matter, but you're always, if there's a capital present, you always list it first. So then you're going to continue crossing. So you'll take this gene and cross it with this one, and you'll take this gene and cross it with this one. So here you'll see if we've continued to fill in the boxes. So this big A comes from here, this little a comes from here, and then in this final box, the little a comes from here, and this little a comes from here. So now that we've got it all filled in, we have to figure out what this means. What are our results mean? So you have to put them together. So in the first box, it has a double capital A. So we know that one box represents a 25% chance. And if we look at the other three boxes, it is the only double A, capital double A, in the boxes. So we say it has a 25% chance. Then we look for capital A, little a, and we have two of those. And remember, each of these boxes is 25%. So here's 25 and here's 25. So that is a 50% chance. Then lastly, we have two little a's, and it is the only two little a's in the four boxes. So it is a 25% chance. So these are the percentages that are the chance of that the offspring of these two parents will inherit that particular trait. So remember, the capital A stood for straight hair, which is a dominant trait, and the little a stood for curly hair. So if the dominant gene is present, that's the one you will see. So for example, here you have big A, that means they're both dominant, so that was 25% straight. Here you have big A, little a, which still means it will be straight because the dominant gene always overrides the recessive. There were two of those, so that was a 50% chance of getting this gene type or genotype. And then here you have two little a's, and there was a 25% chance. But the two little a's represent curly. There's no dominant gene to override them, so the hair will be curly. So if I add these two together, that means that there is a 75% chance that the offspring will have straight hair and a 25% chance that the offspring will have curly hair. Now I want you to try one on your own. So I want you to pause the video, and this will be kind of a test to see if everything during this video made sense to you. So pause the video and try the following Punnett square on your own. You'll notice that the trait says bent pinky finger, straight pinky finger. Straight is the dominant, bent is the recessive. Parent number one has a genotype with one dominant gene and one recessive gene, so you'll have to choose a letter to represent that gene. Parent number two has genotype with both recessive genes. It means you'll have to choose the letter that represents recessive, and that parent has two recessive genes. So remember the steps. First, set up your squares, add the parents, then cross. When you think you have it, hit play. Okay, now that you think you might have it done, let's go to the last slide, which has the answer. And here you will see I chose the letter S to represent the trait of pinky finger. So straight pinky finger is dominant, so that's a capital S. Bent pinky finger is recessive, so I chose a little s for that. So I set up my four squares, and then I put parent number one here. So parent number one had a dominant trait and a recessive trait. So they had a dominant and a recessive. So this is what it looks like. Parent number two had two recessive genes. So these are both small s's because they had two recessive genes. So in other words, parent number one has a straight pinky finger and parent number two has a bent pinky finger. And we're trying to figure out what chance their child might have of having a straight or a bent pinky finger. So we crossed this gene with this one and got a big S, little s. We crossed this gene and got a big S, little s. We crossed this gene and got a little s, and this gene and got another little s, little s. So if I look, I've got two of these and two of these. Remember that each square represents 25%. So two little s's means bent pinky finger. So these both mean bent. So we have a 50% chance of bent pinky finger. Big S, whenever it's present, overrides little s, and big S stands for dominant, straight pinky fingers. So you'll have this one and this one, which means a 50% chance that the offspring will have a straight pinky finger. So if any of this is confusing, you can review this as many times as you'd like. And you can also email me and I'll walk you through it again. And that is the end of our presentation.